We are live. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the greatest political commentary show ever made at 9:45 p.m. on Thursday nights, where one host has a flag in the background and the other has a library in the background. We are number one. There is none better. You can go find it right now. In fact, open up other tabs in your browser and look for a political show that is number one at this time period with these backgrounds. Good luck. Good luck. If you don't find one, you have to super chat us. That's basically what it is. But I am your host, Jeremiah Campana. Welcome to Christian Rants. We have a lot to rant about, a lot of good news happening lately. I'm here with my co-host, Alex Medeiros. Alex, dude, how you doing, bud?
I'm doing great, Jeremiah. How about you, brother?
I am living the dream. We complained a lot. We're weather complainers. Yes, we are. We complained a lot about the weather for, the first couple months of this show. And finally, I have nothing to complain about. Everything is great.
Good for you.
I take it not so much on your end, my friend.
Pretty hot.
You complaining about the heat, man? Come on.
Yeah, I'm fat. I sweat, bro.
What's your ideal temperature then?
Mid 60s.
Mid 60s. Okay. Is there anywhere you could possibly live where you get that 24/7, 365?
No, I get that's why living in New England on the East Coast, I get that like 30% of the year.
30%. Wow, that's awful. Yeah. So you're so 70% of the year you're miserable.
Yeah, I feel like that's a good stat though. I feel like I can't complain. Like the only place that's great weather all the time is LA, and I'd rather not.
LA, Hawaii, but even then you're not looking at 60s all year. I mean, you might get 60s, like 40-50% of the time, but the rest, I mean, it's hot, man. It's hot.
Yeah, it's hot for like it's May. I mean, it got hot early this year. It usually doesn't get that hot till right.
75 is ideal. Okay. All right, fine. Drop your ideal temperature to live in.
If it was 75 degrees in your house, you would not be okay.
Oh, okay. Okay. But temperature inside, everyone knows this. The temperature inside never quite matches what the temperature is outside. It always feels better outside, wherever you are, depending on the season. Okay. So 75 inside during the summer is awful, but 75 outside during the summer is fantastic, right?
Hola, Sharon.
Hola. If you had to live anywhere, are you kidding me? 78?
Nah, you're tripping, Ohio Patriot.
There's something wrong with you. Something wrong with you. Drop your ideal temperature in the chat, okay? If you could live anywhere where the temperature stayed the same all year, what is that temperature? Let us know in the chat. But besides the weather, Alex, we have great news. He's going to be debating here soon.
Yeah.
And I'm excited for his debate topic. I'm excited because he hasn't debated in a long time. So we are excited for that. I was hoping you would get a political topic since we've been talking politics for months now, but you got a big tech topic.
Yeah, they had some political. It wasn't necessarily political topics. They had some. They called it identity and something else. But the only one that I had a hard-lined answer on, because they were very vague. They were like, masculinity is a problem. I'm like, what does that mean?
What does that even mean?
Right. So then the other one was like feminism has made dating harder or like worse.
Okay.
And I was like, okay, I can get with that.
As a married man, that'd be tough to do now because it's been so long since you've dated. It's been so long since I've dated.
Yeah, but I've consumed quite a bit of the red pill content, so I know like the general talking points and what men and women complain about in the dating marketplace, at least.
Okay. So you're familiar with
but I wasn't like souped about that. I was like, all right, I could do that, but then I was like, I'd rather do the AI ones, and the one I have is ChatGPT is killing creativity. I'm not going to give anything away just in case, but I mean, not only is it not killing creativity, it's making everybody, especially people who were too lazy to be creative.
That's
In
interesting.
my
I,
opinion.
I'm curious. I don't have a dog in the fight, so I will be swayed by your debates. But folks, if you're just now joining us, hit that thumbs up button, share the show, join us in the chat. This is a call-in show, so any political topic that you feel like ranting about, you can rant about anything that we're going to be talking about tonight. You can make fun of liberal white women like we love to do on the show, which we're about to get to here in just a minute. Or you can bring up your own political topic, like pain. Is Trump a pedophile? If you want to come on, call in, tell us everything that you think links Trump to being a pedophile, and we'll see if your argument holds any weight.
Yeah, preferably bring evidence.
Preferably. Preferably bring your evidence. I promise you we're not going to be too mean to you. We'll only roast you just a little bit, but it'll be fun. It'll be a good time. Maybe your jokes are funnier than ours, which is quite frequent. We have people in the chat that are way funnier than me and Alex.
This is true.
So, but Alex, we do have a tradition on how we open the show every week.
We do.
And I have to be honest with you. Like, some weeks are easier than others to pull these videos. So while you know our tradition, go ahead and announce our tradition if you wouldn't mind.
Yeah, so we love making fun of awful people. By awful people, of course, we mean white liberal women. So and the acronym does stand for
affluent,
Jeremiah.
White, female, liberal.
There we go. All right. Now, I did put this together very quickly. I mentioned it last week, but to start off our segment, this is what we got.
Liberal women are awful, pleasing them is impossible. Ladies, why so hostile? Audience, grab a drink and follow. Come laugh with us, watch them wallow.
Woo!
All right.
Love it. That is our new jingle. To open up this segment of the show, we will have an accompanying little maybe video that maybe ChatGPT designs, with the creativity that it produces. I don't know. But first up, we have this angry young woman, and this is it's just sad. It's just very sad to see angry women like this in America.
I'm so pro-choice.
Hold on, before you play this.
What's up?
Sorry. Jimmy, get some help, brother. I have no idea who you are. You came in here spurting. But we are both married, so we don't want your daughter. Okay,
that's just weird. That's just weird. If you're in the chat trying to pawn off your daughter, go find some other chat. This ain't that show, brother. This ain't that show, Jimmy. But anyway, don't raise your daughters to be like this.
I'm so pro-choice. I don't even think it's pro-choice anymore. I'm pro-abortion. Yes. Go get one. Everybody should get an abortion. Everybody should have one. Nobody should be pregnant. We should stop having kids. Stop having kids. Go get an abortion. What are you doing? Why are you pregnant? Why are you pregnant?
I just the anger, the angst, that's like teenage angst.
The need for attention. But also Andrew Wilson made the best argument against an anti-natalist, which is that worldview which says stop having kids and just off them all. Is why don't you just off yourself?
Right.
If human beings are so awful and they need to be eradicated, well, I mean, there is a logical place to start that you have control over.
I mean, yeah, that's a really good argument. I noticed they never go there. They never quite connect that dot. Because of course all human beings but themselves are awful. They if only the world was filled with everyone like her, well, we would just live in a perfect utopia, Alex.
True. Mental illness is on the rise, folks. I asked a question. What do you say to American independent registered voters if they don't like you? I don't really have anything to say. I mean, okay.
I'm not running for office, so if you don't like me, don't vote for me. It's funny. Yes, enjoy your night as well. And folks, even if you hate us, hit that thumbs up, hate like button. Like to hate us, hate to like us. Either way, call in if you want to make an argument as well. This guy is a dude, as you can tell, but I want you to.
I
you
never
know these
assume
days.
anymore.
Right. You can't assume. You can't assume. But what I will say, this goes by quick, so you have to read this little stupid subtitle.
One of the small acts of petty rebellion I partake in is wearing anti-corporate messaging under my corporate henchman day job uniform. Save the forest.
Oh, did you not get to read that? It says, save the forest, destroy AI data centers. Now, I am anti-data center, I will admit,
Okay.
but I am not that gay. So I cannot relate to this guy in any way, shape, or form. Why am I anti-data centers? Well, let me tell you.
Okay.
They're getting approved by government councils through backroom deals and hush hush. Like, we're not going to tell the voters about it. We're going to build them without getting voter consent of where they're being built. They're just popping up. They consume insane amounts of energy, water, electricity, specifically. And that, up until we started causing a stink about it, those costs we were picking up those costs, the consumer. So your electric bill here in Ohio went from like $70 a month to like $270 a month, like within a month. It was crazy. So the fact that it's all like being like real, like we're sneaking them in here, and we're not going to mention any of the negative effects of having it until it's already happening, like tells me something nefarious about it. Is like the politicians know like this isn't right what they're doing, which is why they aren't telling anybody about it. Now it's too late now because the Ohioans are like up in arms about it. But but I know that we need data centers, right? Because I mean we're using one right now to stream this show. I use one every day.
Why they're being built at such rapid rates right now is us doing podcasts, right? We had plenty of infrastructure for everybody to have a podcast,
right?
But it's the AI. It's like, imagine trying to play GTA 6, which hasn't come out yet, on a PlayStation 1. It's not going to happen. Like, it just doesn't fit, right? So that's where the data centers come in. Is AI is so data intensive that it needs, like, we're not even going to have enough, even if we didn't have the economical problems and issues with the data centers, we still wouldn't be able to build data centers fast enough for AI. So that's why Elon Musk wants to shoot them out in space, right?
that I'm okay with that. Shoot them out in space. Could it be part of an agenda that includes 15-minute cities? Maybe it could be. Also, the sound that they emit is like causing people like nauseous, like migraines and like crazy stuff like that. Also,
now,
not a fan of this. Ohio Patriot brings up they're stealing people's homes by eminent domain to build them. Also, pretty crummy. So I guess, Alex, what while we're on the topic, tell me what you were about to say, and then tell me what you think the solution might be, because we need them. We can't go without them. So what do we do?
That's the thing. I mean, with the data centers, 90% of what you said and what was said in the chat, I agree with. Like, stealing people's homes and farms in Georgia by eminent domain, not good. Sneaking around, making backdoor deals, pocketing money, most likely, not good. But we do need we are winning the AI race right now. No matter what propaganda you want to believe, we're winning the AI race.
So you're saying America's beating China right now?
Yes, 100%. They had one little glimmer of hope when they released an open source model, and it ended up being complete trash anyway, and we surpassed them almost immediately.
Right on.
Now, we need to win the AI race if the predictions are true. We don't know where AI is going at the end of the day.
Okay.
But if the predictions are true and is going to be as big of a deal as some people think, we need to win the race, unless you're okay with America losing their spot in the current structure of world governance.
Okay. So
that's kind of the pickle we're in.
Right. that is quite the pickle.
Yeah.
So how fast can we get them built in space so they don't take up farmland and steal people's homes and all that stuff? Is there an alternative in the meantime? Can we like build them out in the like on platforms in the ocean or something? Or I don't know. Like, did they have to be close to other infrastructure?
Yeah, they have to for internet. So they have, because like think about fiber, right? Fiber internet is some of the fastest internet. It's a physical connection. Like, I don't know if you have fiber internet, but whoever has fiber internet, you're connected to like a, for lack of a better word, a headquarter where the fiber starts. And you're physically, like, they dug from that to your house to connect you to fiber. It's a big deal. The further you are away from these sections where you can connect to for fiber, the harder it is to build these data centers. The longer the wires are from fiber, the shorter it is, the less reliable it is, the more likely it is to get snipped by something in the means, like there's
right.
So they kind of have to be in, like, that's why they're willing to go to a farm that's worth $2 million and say, hey, we'll give you $15 million for your family farm to build this data center.
Yeah. And most farmers are saying, yes, okay, fine. I'm a broke farmer because farmers are getting the shaft, right? They're not making any money. So I can totally see why they would do that. You got to make the decision best for you and your family. Folks, 8 of you watching, hit that thumbs up button, share the show, comment in the chat, and call in. The link is pinned at the top of the chat. Cole with let other countries become less human and more dependent on a screen. Can't we win at being human? I don't know, man.
Well, it's like if we still rode on horses and China came out with cars and we were like, we don't want to be communists because so we're just not going to use cars. I understand the fear of being consumed by technology. But at the end of the day, you kind of have to face reality, and it's a demon you have to slay. Now, look, if you're a Christian, hopefully you are. I am a AI optimist as a Christian because God has given us dominion over not just this world and the animals and the land, but also demons and principalities of the air. We have dominion. Right. God has given that to us. That doesn't mean there won't be a fight. That doesn't mean we don't have to strategize and come up with solutions. But at the end of the day, God has given us the victory already, and I hold on to that.
Good point. Good point. Great white pill. That's a great white pill moment. Clip that. Someone clip that. Folks, okay, so now next, I do have another liberal white dude. I'm going to be honest with you. Liberal dudes are dominating the funny feed today. This guy, I mean, he's fighting the good fight, man. He's single-handedly going to take down MAGA. Single-handedly, this guy right here, because he refuses to wear red, white, and blue.
To be an American, because God knows I'm not free, and I'm ashamed to.
I mean, I feel defeated. I don't know about you.
That gives divorced dad will hit on any woman with a pulse in his near vicinity.
Oh, for sure, because he looks like a waiter. He works in the so if you're 40 years old working in the service industry, you're begging to just hit on 18-year-old women.
Yes. Yep.
That's you're right. He's got those vibes. He's definitely got those vibes. Now, this next guy, Alex, we've seen a lot of videos on this show. Folks, if you've been watching, you've seen some crazy white liberals. I mean, some of the most bat-ish insane stuff. But this, this, my friend.
This is a woman?
Camp Crinkle is sort of this camp where everyone is crinkly. Everyone's wearing diapers.
I knew it.
We've built out Zesty Cheese Ranch, this kind of interesting little baby fur campsite. So baby fur is the segment of ABDL, which is adult baby diaper lover, and furry combined. So it's often furries, so cute animal characters, but they usually will role play as younger characters. There is sort of like that stigma within the furry community, right? And I get from the outside, there is a consent thing. Sometimes it gets misunderstood where people assume that because you're role playing as a younger character, that you want to hang out with younger, with children, which it's not. It's all consenting adults that it's people who want to be the children. They want to be cared for. They want to be looked after.
There is this belief that baby furs equals pet. It has no connection at all.
Moving.
Your average baby fur, one, not a pet. Two, they probably hate pet more than most people.
Camp Crinkle is sort of this camp.
I don't know, dude.
Yeah, like, why are you telling me? I honestly didn't assume that. I thought you were weird, like really weird, but I didn't assume that. And now I kind of am, because you're telling me so much.
Now I think everybody at Camp Zesty needs a hard drive check, because
don't.
I'm like, you're right. I wasn't thinking that either. I just thought you were a weirdo wearing a diaper, putting on a furry costume. But then you mentioned something about young kids, and I'm like, wait a minute. I didn't go there, but now that you went there, I'm definitely like, oh yeah, you're a freak.
Dogs wear diapers. To be fair, I put a diaper on my dog when she has her period because she's not fixed. So I don't want to bleed all over my house.
Well, yeah, there'd be a way. Also, you might put a diaper on your dog if they're like 16 years old and they can barely walk, right? You're not taking them outside.
But it's not normal.
No,
so even the furries look at these guys. They're like, too far, dude. Too far.
We don't misunderstand the clinical diagnosis. The chat is going off tonight. Mega feminine
Jimmy.
Jimmy's
similar to the guy we were talking about right before we went live, isn't
he? He really is. He really is. Jimmy, keep chatting away, buddy. We love it. Call in. This is a call-in show. Link is pinned at the top of the chat. If you want to call in and give us your opinion on anything that we're talking about, hit that like button, share the show, subscribe to our channels. I got another dude dominate the dudes. The white liberal dudes have been dominating the feed today, Alex. This guy, by the way, earmuffs. And then I'm going to explain what this guy's yelling about once he yells your face off.
He's fucking detained! A 2-month-old baby! 2 months old! What the actual fuck? A baby who has barely even taken its first breaths in this world and half of its life! He's fucking detained!
Whoa. Okay, so here's the actual story.
Now, just imagine what being his girlfriend is like.
Oh man, no, that poor woman. That poor woman. So the child's mother, Maria Stefani Lopez Sanchez. Boy, what a name. Crossed into the United States illegally. She was apprehended by Border Control near Eagle Pass, which is like the famous border crossing place. She chose to keep her child with her when being transferred into ICE custody. She then received due process, standing before a judge, and the judge determined that all of her claims were found not to be valid. That same judge issued a final order of removal on February 8th, where she and her baby were sent back to Mexico, her home country. And that's it. That's the story. That's what he's all.
So she was allowed to keep her baby with her.
Yes.
While she was being detained.
Correct. Yes.
How evil.
How evil of ICE to let that woman keep her 2-month-old baby with her while she's being detained. Like, what else was she supposed to do with it, you weirdos?
Like, could you imagine someone robbed a bank and they had their kid in the back seat, and when they get arrested, they were able to take their kid into prison with them to care for them? That doesn't happen. It's not supposed to be that way. That was a privilege and grace on part of the law enforcement to be able to do that for her.
For sure. Yeah. That was exactly. They should be thankful that happened and that baby wasn't left with a bunch of strangers. Like, don't understand it. Next up on the docket, another dude. Dudes are dominating here today. A lot of do we need a separate song for the white liberal dudes?
No, they fit right in, to be honest.
They're basically white liberal women, right?
I want to see the fatherlessness statistics on these men.
Oh, it's got to be in 75% or higher, I'm imagining.
Yeah.
Oh boy, here we go. Brace yourself for this one.
But they don't exist.
Right? People should not
I was going to say something really nice to you. Listen, I know that you don't agree that transgenderism is real, but it's very real. Those people are very real. Just like you. No, they are
Yes, the disease of thinking you're a different gender is very real. I agree.
very real, and their feelings matter, and their right to existence fucking matters. Okay? Your right to existence fucking matters, even though I don't like you.
Even though
it
we don't
still
like you.
matters.
Okay.
You
that
get to be
doesn't
who
matter.
you are because you
I
are.
don't believe they
Get
exist
the
as a
fuck
woman,
out of
they
here.
are a man.
You get to be who you are.
They
No,
do.
he's like, why do they hate Charlie? He's coming up. He's
you're
he's
Charlie.
fucking shit. He's doing shit. No, he's fucking shit. Babe, just let me do my thing. Listen,
Hey, just let me. We know who wears the pants in that relationship.
He's like, babe, we're supposed to go get lunch with my parents.
you get to be yourself. You get to exist as a white dude living in this fucking world. Transgender people get to
We get to exist as a white dude living in this world, bro.
fucking be who they want.
Well, no, they're not legitimate. They're not legitimately women if they are biologically men.
You don't tell me transgender people don't get to live, man.
They don't exist.
Notice he didn't say that they don't get to live.
They fucking exist.
They don't.
Transgender people exist. Put
They
this on
don't.
Fucking internet. Transgender people exist. They have the right to exist. They will always
They can exist as the biological sex that they exist as, but they don't exist.
Right people should not fucking exist.
Also,
White people.
She was dying to take that microphone.
Whoa, cool.
Is that his girl? Is this white? Is that his white girlfriend?
People should not fucking exist.
Also,
Whoa, calling for a white
Calling for
genocide.
white
Very,
genocide. That's what. See, they don't have an argument. That's what they always resort to.
yeah,
Every single time.
he just like literally the exact thing he was just arguing against.
Transgender people get to exist. You get to exist. White people don't get to exist. Huh?
And to be honest, he looks like a white guy who is so ashamed of his white skin that he got the opposite Michael Jackson treatment. I mean, it looks like he's doing blackface.
I mean, yes. For sure. All right, last one before we get into our big news story. I got the pigeons of the View here.
My face. I watch this show daily. To be honest, I watch reruns from like the early 2000s all the time.
Was it the same in the early 2000s? Were they just as ridiculous and retarded?
I don't actually watch it, but probably.
You disappoint me. I was really hoping you did. I was hoping that wasn't a joke. But here is the the experts in history. The recent
Jimmy's
history.
never seen a transgender person.
Like
It's because you
know.
can't know they live among us and you can't tell.
No, you probably dated one. You didn't even know it, dude. All right, expert in history, Sunny. What is it, Houston?
I just think we need to make it clear that there can be no comparison between the Black Lives Matter movement and what we saw on January 6th. So I just want to make that clear.
You're right. There was much less death on January 6th.
There were very limited destruction of property and violence during the uprising.
I want to be clear in how I characterize it. This is mostly a protest. It is not generally speaking.
This was the defining moment of Americans' distrust in the media.
Truly, but fires have been started.
Oh boy.
They just threw something on fire, Chris, a firecracker.
No one should be destructing property and that sort of thing, but I understand the anger.
What you are seeing now, these images came and come in stark contrast to what we saw over the course of the daytime hours in Kenosha and into the early evening, which were largely peaceful demonstrations in the face of law enforcement.
I just think we.
She is just wrong on so many levels, aka nobody died except a protester on January 6th. So there's that. And like 30 some people died during the Summer of Love, during the BLM riots, and billions of dollars in damage.
Yeah. Stores literally changed like their entire geographic expansion project, whatever it's called. They changed where they were setting up news stores. Like they had, okay, we're gonna put news stores here, and they were like, wow, we're gonna shut down these stores and we're gonna plan new ones elsewhere because we're not doing this again.
Yeah, dude, it was a wild time. Peaceful violence, yes, the Marxist term for what happened there. Very peaceful violence, so peaceful that people peacefully were peacefully murdered throughout that summer.
This was the Wizard of Oz moment where the guy's behind the curtain and he's like, hey, get back over there and listen to me. Ignore the man behind the curtain.
Ignore the man behind that curtain. Hit that like button, folks. Join the show. This is a call-in show. We got breaking news. Well, a couple days old now. Breaking news. But I think it is still worth talking about. We got X-Files coming up later. We got a couple X-Files. Well, we got one X-File. I got 2 articles that tie into the same X-File. It's like weird, crazy, like people playing God type stuff. We got fraud. We got Nick Shirley work paying off. I mean, we got all kinds of stuff coming up. But first, we got to start with Republican conservative infighting civil war, my friends, because let me scroll up to the top. I did not cue that up very well, did I? Breaking: Thomas Massie loses his primary to Trump endorsed candidate Ed Gowring. Decision desk from the Post-Millennial. Thomas Massie lost his primary. By the way, I'm not sure. I think they say that in this article, but like $32 to $35 million were spent on this primary race, which is insane because nobody votes in primaries and nobody spends money in the primaries. Well, at least hardly. So for that amount of money to be spent by both candidates together, up to $35 million is just insane.
Yeah, it is nuts.
Yeah, like that's I hope that doesn't set a precedent for how primaries have to go moving forward, because that's just elections are already very tense. But I love this post by Trump. Can you imagine Congressman Thomas Massie putting out a many years ago endorsement of him by me, because Thomas Massie flexed and said Trump used to endorse him, when he knows that he wasn't endorsed, but that I proudly endorsed Ed Gowring. The reason is that Massie has turned out to be one of the worst congressmen in the Republican Party. This shows what a total dishonest and desperate guy Massie is. And I hope the voters aren't fooled by his deception. Massie has been at odds with Trump for many months now, with the president often slamming the congressman over his voting record, which I keep telling people it's not your Israel derangement syndrome. That's not why Massie lost. Massie lost because he was going against the president way too often, and that Trump bump has a potential to make or break any candidate. But we also got some other wins, as this article mentions. In Indiana, several Republican candidates lost their seats in the state legislature after they bucked the president on the issue of redistricting. So remember, we covered redistricting on the show and talked about how awful Indiana was for not doing it when they had the opportunity to add a bunch of seats. Well, those Republicans who did that all lost their re-election bids. Candidates backed by Turning Point Action, as well as the president, were able to beat those incumbent state lawmakers in the primaries. And another win from Trump. This one's a huge one. Bill Cassidy in Louisiana. Bye, son. This is another step. If we don't get to pass the Save America Act before the primaries, we have a good shot if Julia Letlow gets in there. If she wins that race, now that she will go out to a runoff election against John Fleming. After Massie lost the race, Trump posted a photo with himself, with Ed. I love how he uses the mugshot photo every chance that he gets. Gowring was outperforming. This is Trump. this is his mugshot photo. Yeah,
that's great.
He uses it every chance he gets. NBC stunned. Massie got all of his money. 79% of his money, I believe, came from leftists, which is crazy. Like, Massie was relying on Democrat money to win this primary.
Our country is so crazy right now.
Dude, isn't it?
What the heck?
Isn't it? I know, man.
Oh, Trump, you don't like Trump? Here's my money. Take my money. Jimmy Myers called in. He said, how much you need? My daughter doesn't actually need to go to MIT. You need to win because you don't like Trump.
Massie, first elected in 2012, has been an ever-present thorn in Trump's political agenda. This is what I think. He voted against the One Big Beautiful Bill. He was the only Republican to vote no. That was huge. That bill needed to pass. Thank God that it did. But I think that is what was the nail in the coffin for him. Now I got a couple different opinions on what went down here. First, we'll see what Scott Jennings had to say about it, and then we'll see what Dave Smith, libertarian. Well, we'll get to that. But here's what Scott Jennings had to say.
You raised a good question about the people who voted for Trump. As a voter in this district, let me stand up for my people. These people voted for Donald Trump. They also voted for Massie on the expectation that he would help Donald Trump enact his agenda. He stopped doing that, and it's pretty simple. They decided to get a congressman who will help him enact that agenda. It's easy to overanalyze this. The bottom line is they love Trump. They love his agenda. Tax cuts, border security, you name it. Massie got off that team, and they wanted to put someone on the team who would help the president. It's pretty simple. So you raised a good.
So is it that simple? I don't know. Let's see what Dave Smith has to say. Who I used to have mad respect for Dave Smith, and I've lost most of it.
On the right of Dave Smith. He looks familiar.
He is John Doyle.
Huh. Okay,
Whoever that is.
Sorry.
The president party, but then I graduated from that when I was like 7 years old, and so then I went in a different
against lockdown. So praise from or Iran or a few things change the environment.
That guy.
Yeah, Brad, I used to be a partisan who would just blindly support the president of my party, but then I graduated from that when I was like 7 years old, and so then I went in a different direction. Thomas Massie, I like that the one thing you pointed out that he outflanks him to the right, and the one thing you could point to is he didn't sign on to a giant spending bill that passed anyway. No, what happened here is that Thomas Massie opposed an idiotic, catastrophic war of aggression and a war of choice, and Thomas Massie opposed covering up the Epstein scandal, which really humiliated the administration that had run on that and then done a 180 and then just pathetically tried to bury the thing and claimed it was a Democratic hoax or it didn't exist. Even just a few months before he finally got them to pass the bill, the official position from the Justice Department was that these files don't exist. They're all gone. They came out and openly said that. Then we got 3.5 million of them, and they're just openly, illegally holding back another 3 million of them. That's what got the lobby on his back. And, I'm glad you brought up him being opposed to the insane COVID spending that gave us so much of the inflation that got blamed.
So he goes on and on and on. But a couple of things that he said that were 100% wrong there is that well, one thing I know for sure he's 100% wrong on is that he said the administration ran on disclosing the Epstein files, and that's not true. Trump was asked in one interview about the Epstein files, and they asked if he would release them, and he said, "Yeah." And then he backtracked and said, "Well, I don't know. It depends on who." I forget what he said. Something about like I forget his answer, but he said, "Yeah." And then he was like, "Well, no, maybe." So he never really committed to releasing the Epstein files. It was only after he was elected that Pam Bondi, this doofus that he hired, the list binders, the list on my desk, the binders that had no information in them, et cetera, et cetera. Another thing he got wrong is that Thomas Massie, first of all, he didn't fight that hard for the Epstein files when Biden was in office. Weird, so weird, very weird. But then when he finally got them released, what did they provide us? I mean, there's nothing there. We have 3 million files, and we've had influencers combing through them for months, and nothing. They were hot for like 1 second because of some code words about that linked to Pizzagate.
Some
weird stuff.
Excavate the ranch too.
Did they excavate Zorro Ranch?
I know they went there. I don't know, but I haven't heard anything. They haven't found anything. Because there was a story about these bodies being buried there in some email.
I'm not sure. I'm not sure about Zorro Ranch. I do know a lot of stuff is going on there, and it was going on there nefariously. Ironically, I go to church with a guy who painted Zorro Ranch. Yeah, he this was like in the 80s.
Great.
Yeah.
Jimmy just lost it, dude.
Jimmy just lost it. Wait a minute. Hey man, Carl. Hey Carl, my guy. This is a call-in show, man. Call in and defend this position. Newsom would be better than Trump. I want to know why you think that. But even if they listen, even if they release 3, first of all, they can't unredact them because they're not, the victims. If you release the victims' names, they will sue. The victims have made it clear they don't want their names out there. And whatever's in the other 3 million files, I guarantee you it's nothing. I guarantee you he did all of this. Thomas Massie killed his own career. He went after Trump over Epstein for no reason and got nothing from it. Voted against the big, beautiful bill when they needed him. If he would have voted yes on the big, beautiful bill, he probably would be in office right now. That's my guess. I don't know. What do you think?
To be honest, I don't know too much about Thomas Massie, but I second whatever you said. I'm sorry.
Fair enough.
I'm more in the political ideology sphere, right?
Sure.
I'm just a baby, dude. I barely turned 30, you know?
Oh my gosh, that's right. Everybody wish Alex a happy late 30th birthday. He's finally.
Do you have a happy birthday song in the media assets?
I don't know that we do. I told him that he's at the age where what did I call it? Where you're you still don't know what you're doing, but you have a better credit score now.
Yes. Yep.
You're
pretty much.
Yeah. You're at the age of adulthood where you still don't know what you're doing, but hey, your credit's a little better.
Just in time for record high housing unaffordability.
Hey, Nick, nothing comment. I mean, hey, call in, man. Give your opinion. Tell us what you think is in those files, why you think they're holding them.
It doesn't have to be hostile. We're here for a good conversation.
Yeah, we're not here to attack you. There was no full. Oh, here we go. Ohio Patriot with the fact checking. No full scale evac at Zorro Ranch, but state authorities conducted a targeted search of the property in March as part of a reopened criminal investigation. Okay, so TBD on the Zorro Ranch. 6 of you watching, hit that like button, hit that share button, subscribe to our channels, and call in the show. Now, we do have some fraud to cover. Our boy Nick Shirley, American hero, Nick Shirley, his work has paid off, ladies and gentlemen. And Alex, I think you have this story for us.
Yes, I just closed out all my tabs. I don't know why.
I don't know why either. That's what I would do. That's something I would do. trying to share my screen. I would somehow close my window, leave the podcast altogether somehow.
All right. So we have, everybody remembers Nick Shirley, obviously the huge Minnesota fraud that was exposed. And every leftist ever said there's nothing to see here. It's just white supremacists, words of Governor Tim Walz. And now let me share this. I'm going to pull it over here. Boom, boom, boom. All right. So we have. Why isn't okay? The owner of daycare in viral Nick Shirley video charged in $4.6 million daycare fraud scheme. Prosecutors say. So here we have not Ilhan Omar. Where is she? So she's hard to see in this picture here because it's a pretty brutal mugshot. But it's the lady when they don't have the original picture here. I'll find the original picture in a second. But basically, earlier this year, her name is Fahima Agha Mahmoud. She was the owner of a daycare and she answered the door, and I'll get that picture in a little bit here. But on Wednesday, she was charged. So yesterday, right? Yeah, wow. She was charged in another fraud case in Minnesota. Everybody remembers the $250 million Feeding Our Future scheme, where they took CCAP money, which was meant to aid daycare children with nutrition and food and stuff like that, kind of like a SNAP, but like an extra benefit for kids.
Yep.
And when the story first broke about the whole Minnesota thing, people on the right, unfortunately, they were a little bit misinformed. They kept saying people were charged already. Look, but it was all about the Feeding Our Future scam that happened 2-3 years prior.
Yep.
But they actually connected this lady to the Feeding Our Future scheme. So they were investigating her based on her daycare, and they saw, hey, wait, all these people that are enrolled in her daycare are also taking money from the CCAP program. And yes, they found $4.6 million worth of fraud. In addition to her involvement in the nutrition program fraud, Mahmoud was federally charged in a secondary scheme to defraud the Child Care Assistance Program, CCAP, which provides daycare. Okay, so I got my terms mixed here a little bit. She was charged in both the nutrition program fraud, and she was double dipping. Which is what Nick Shirley was saying the entire time.
Yes, that's how they're driving
It's
Bentleys.
all connected. Yeah.
That's how they're driving Bentleys. Who's paying you guys? Israel, duh. Get our $7,000, buddy.
Yeah.
Yes,
All
Nick
right,
Shirley's investigation paid off. All the nonsense talked about by the left, telling us that it's just he's racist, nothing's going on here, proven correct. And in fact, Alex, if what is it? Where did I lose the tweet? Yes. So the DOJ just announced criminal fraud charges against 15 individuals in Minnesota for stealing more than $90 million from taxpayer-funded Medicaid programs. So his investigations led to that lady's arrest, and now 15 other people are being charged. So we're seeing the dominoes start to fall here. We do have a caller. We have Jack in the line. Should we take Jack's call and see what he's got to say?
Yes, sir. Jack, welcome to the show. We can hear you. Well, now you're unmuted. What's up, Jack? How are you?
Hey, Wagwan friends, how you doing?
Good. Where are you from, Jack?
You calling from Florida?
Oh, nice.
It is
what's on your mind?
The free state of Florida.
Yeah. Well, not originally, no, Shandan, no, but yeah. On my mind, the politics. Yeah.
Yeah. What made you want to call in? What you want to talk about?
Yeah. The politics here, is Democrat.
What about the Democrats?
Yes.
All right. Well, you have a wonderful day, Jack. It was nice to have you on the show.
Appreciate you calling in. Appreciate you calling
in. If you do call in, please have something you'd like to talk about when you call in.
Yes, you do have to have an opinion on something. We will take it. We don't care what that opinion is. If you agree with what we're talking about, if you disagree with what we're talking about, totally fine. By the way, no confirmed human remains or major discoveries were reported at Zorro. See, yes, okay. Another thing people have to realize about this whole Epstein thing, right? Okay, and hopefully nothing comment. I'm going to talk to you here. Okay, so nobody except the conservatives were saying anything about this until Trump got into office, right? So we've been screaming about it since he killed himself in his cell. And by the time Biden's 4 years have been up, do you think, honestly, if anyone powerful is implicated in those files, that those files still exist by now? I mean, he's been dead for what, 10 years now? Like, it's been many years have gone by. There's no way that the cleanup men haven't cleaned up anything of value. You know what I'm saying? Like
2019.
Yeah.
7 years.
7 years. Okay. 7 years ago. Like, there's no way those files lasted for 7 years with anybody important implicated in any of them. That's right. Just, I mean, yeah.
And there were, it's not just like high level Trump administration and Biden administration people. There were multiple congressmen and women who looked through all of the files that weren't released as well. Correct.
Yeah. Yes. Even Thomas Massie himself got to see some files that no one else got to see.
So according to Jimmy, who was spurging out about us apparently hiding pedophiles, that would include Thomas Massie then, correct?
That would include Thomas Massie for not naming any names of the files that he saw.
Yeah.
So, Alex, I gotta
exactly. Biden would have destroyed Trump if Trump were in those files.
There's Trump would be in prison right now if Trump was in those files. Like, no doubt about it. Absolutely no doubt about it. But folks, I do have an X file here. All right, folks, we got some crazy stuff going on here. I probably should have pulled this up before I queued the song up, right? Colossal Biosciences is growing chickens in a 3D printed artificial eggshell. Instead, these baby chicks were shifting and starting to pip or trying to hatch, but not from an egg. Instead, these chickens were growing inside transparent 3D printed plastic cups at the Dallas headquarters of Colossal Biosciences. The biotech company developed a fully artificial egg as part of its effort to resurrect extinct avian species, including birds like the dodo and the giant moa, because we need those birds back for some reason. But artificial eggshell would probably be a better description for the invention. It's an oval-shaped lattice, blah, 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 blah. To generate birds, Colossal took recently laid chicken eggs, carefully poured their contents into an artificial shells where they continue growing.
Whoa, pause.
Fair. A window on top lets researchers peek inside. To see them all moving around in their artificial eggs was absolutely mind-blowing. You really feel you can grow life outside of the womb, folks. And this is done with silicone-based membrane. This is just bizarre.
What's up, Leia? Yeah, some Jurassic Park cheese.
Yes.
Right.
Yes. The egg technology could help conserve at-risk bird species, which, I mean, who cares? It could also play a role in a project to recreate the extinct giant moa, a flightless 12-foot bird that's probably you don't want to run into in the wild. Lived in New Zealand, laid 4-liter eggs larger than those of any living bird. The moa went extinct after canoes carrying the ancestors arrived on New Zealand, blah, blah, blah. Okay, they went extinct for a reason, okay? There's a reason these animals are dead. But all this to say, all right, so we know they're growing eggs, all right? So they can hatch eggs from nothing, which they have a website that was linked to this. Bro, they're trying to do this with all kinds of species. Here's on the map to resurrect from the dead.
I've heard quite a few rich men. The All In podcast, for example, was talking about this not too long ago, and they want little pets running around their, multi-million, decamillion-dollar mansions. So this is what they're doing.
How do you think a woolly mammoth or a dire wolf is going to act in today's world? Like, how do we know that the dire wolf isn't going to go on farmers' properties and just murder all of their livestock?
Yeah, in one meal.
How do we know that hiking in Montana isn't going to become a blood sport? Like, what are they doing here? What?
This is COVID 2.0. They're going to keep us all inside by releasing T-Rexes everywhere.
Right. Touche.
Now, here's a little twist for you. How would you feel about artificial wombs?
No. Just
now, what about when it
absolutely
comes to the abortion debate?
Captain Thrust, buddy, hold on, Captain Thrust. I know you want to finish that thought, but I got to tell Captain Thrust, dude, call in and defend your position. We'll be nice to you and tell us why you think Trump should be in prison. Sorry, go ahead.
No, you're fine. We would love a call in. So yeah, like in the abortion debate, a hypothetical that always arises because there are certain people who make the argument on the pro-abortion side, as that lady illustrated earlier. The thing is, they'll say like, well, if it's viable, you shouldn't abort it, right? There's people who take that stance. But then it comes up, well, what if there's viability via artificial wombs? And that argument's out the window. The problem is, I think most people have moved away from the viability argument and are just outright, We know it's a life. We know we're killing it, and that's
right.
fine. We have the right to do so.
You know, I haven't really, I didn't really think about that, connecting these two subjects. All the stupid women that picked the bear. Yeah, absolutely.
Would you pick a dire wolf?
Would you? Yeah. Alone in the woods with a dire wolf or a man, right? I don't know, man. What do you think about artificial wombs? So you pro
a better alternative to murder, right? You would
well,
agree
yes,
there.
yes, I will agree with that. I will agree with that. But the scary the line that gets crossed. I feel like there's morality with that can easily be blurred. You know what I mean? Like I just feel like somehow you can take artificial wombs and do something really terrible with them.
Yes. Speaking of Epstein, yeah.
Right.
Seriously, I didn't even, that's a great point. Leia, by the way, we're welcome friendly call-ins too. If you want to share your thoughts, you said you thought a lot about this. Totally up to you.
A lot about this.
We'll welcome you.
Yes, we'll welcome you. Give us your thoughts. Call in. Let us know. Because this we try to pull an X file up every week that makes us think of some weird stuff. But this one, I came across this one and I'm like, this just has playing God, weird stuff, possibilities, like almost, kind of like the AI debate where it's like, yes, this can be used for good things, but what kind of evil will it also be used for?
Yeah.
Do the pros outweigh the cons? I don't know if we have the answers to those questions quite yet. But I loved your white pill from earlier.
It's a little bit harder on this one. I'll have to think about that.
Just a little bit harder on this one with artificial wombs for sure. A couple more stories. I know we're past an hour. I'm okay with going a little longer. Are you okay with going a little longer?
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, cool. Leah, we still encourage you to call in as we power on here. I wanted to there should be links pinned at the top of the chat.
I didn't pin mine. That's
jeez, Alex.
I did it, but I didn't pin it. Let's see. All right, I'll pin it now. You might have to type it in because it's on vertical, Leia.
Yeah, I actually had some people who tuned in to the vertical and they left because there's so much on the screen on the verticals.
Yeah, it's
an acquired taste like beer. Right?
Yeah. Like Heineken.
Yep. 7 people watching. Hit that thumbs up button. Share the show. Jump in the chat. Call in. Alex, we got IED near Alabama reservoir detonated after officials warned of unprecedented critical infrastructure threat. Dude, this was crazy. Divers found a grenade IED during a routine maintenance at this reservoir, which was the sole water source for 350,000 residents. I pray we don't see it, but my gut tells me crazy times ahead as we move into 2020.
Was there any damage?
No. So luckily, divers spotted it. A grenade type IED immediately alerted the sheriffs. The sheriffs connected with the FBI. The FBI bomb squad was able to get it out and detonate it safely away. But the IED discovery, unprecedented threat to the area's drinking water. We are fortunate this device was discovered before it could cause serious damage. So you got to wonder, how long was it sitting there? Why didn't it go off? MAWSS said it's working with law enforcement to investigate how the bomb got there, so we still don't know. The agency will work with law enforcement to increase security around the dam. So that's the scary thing, right? So they found this bomb. They have no idea how it got there. But we were talking about just the other day that Chinese lady and her brother, the Chinese guy and his sister that tried to bomb the base. And that guy fled to China, stuck his sister, and then I do believe, the Chinese mayor who was busted working with the Chinese government as a spy, and she was elected mayor to her. Like, I'm wondering, like, is China gearing up for like some serious like throwdown here, or?
I don't know, man. I don't know why they would right now. They don't seem. I don't know. It'd be crazy though.
What lake? Oh yeah, I didn't even.
And we do have Leia waiting.
Okay, great. Yeah, we'll bring Leia up here in just 1 second. Converse Reservoir Dam in Alabama. That's where the lake was. Converse Reservoir Lake.
Why do the faux Nazi dorks always have the same haircut? Are we
First
talking
of all,
about haircuts?
we have different haircuts, okay? And he has a beard and I don't. All right. And did you know Alex is a Muslim? You racist.
And it's called a high fade. Mine's pretty high, but it's just a popular haircut. I don't understand.
Why do all you weirdos have blue hair and are trans?
That's where I was going. Exactly. You don't want to talk about haircuts. All right.
Let's invite Leah up. Leah, welcome to the show.
It's Leia.
Leia.
We went through this.
No, it is Leah, but no big deal.
Oh.
Everybody renames me. I don't ever correct anybody because, like, you know, in the grand scheme of things, what does it really matter, right? So people just believe what they want, you know, whoever I am.
Dang it.
Leah.
No, you're good. Everybody does
so
that. I'm not at all offended.
You said you've thought a lot about the artificial wombs. What's on your mind here?
I have. Well, because, you know, as you know, I'm very pro-life, almost like to abolitionists, but I don't attach myself to that because they're crazy and it's a whole nother debate in and of itself.
Right.
But I have a thought because that's always the go ahead, like, right? That's
Right.
If people are philosophical enough, logical enough, eventually they'll ask, oh, well, you know, if it's not just that, oh, you want to control women's bodies, well, what if there was an artificial womb, right? And the simple, clean answer would be like, oh yeah, sure, no problem, because that eliminates the fact that the women have to carry the baby, which is supposedly just not autonomy, their biggest concern, right? But I'm like, man, what kind of implications would that really have for that baby, though, right? Yes, it's obviously better than dying, like, obviously, you know?
Right.
But first and foremost, lesser of two evils, undoubtedly, or so we think. I mean, we really don't know that. It's not like we've ever done it before, you know? I'm like, you know, I don't know if you've ever seen, what is that movie called? There's a movie from like the late 80s and early 90s where they studied toddlers that were like 3 to 5 years old and what the effects of a single instance of neglect would do to them. And they became like more introverted and they wouldn't play with toys. And anyway, it's a whole thing. So like, I'm like, what would that do? Because it's like, you know, babies in the womb are figuring out more and more every day the type of things happening while they're gestating, right? And like they recognize mom's voice, heartbeat.
Right.
I'm like, you wouldn't have any of that. You wouldn't be exposed to any hormones unless it was like artificial. You know, you wouldn't have any sense of anything unless it was like voices, right? Movement, unless they just faked all of it, right? And even then, would it really be the same? You know,
a great point.
That is a fantastic point. I didn't think about that. Yeah. There's so much that goes on in the womb that most people think is probably essential to the health of the baby.
Yeah. I mean, it's really what's the word? I mean, yes, definitely essential. And it kind of is like the building blocks that start you out in a good place in life. That, like, the last few weeks of pregnancy, if one reason, even if you're only a few weeks early, you know, a lot of times as a baby you may have to stay in the NICU is because there's a lot of development that happens in those last few weeks, like the lungs and the brain especially. And it's like super important, right? And that's how they get their first dose of everything. I mean, think about like hormonal changes, mood swings, you know, like a woman. I almost had a car wreck when I was pregnant with my son. Perfect example. And I wasn't right for a week. And the whole time it was because I was so upset that I was like somehow going to hurt my baby because I've had miscarriages in the past. It was the whole thing. So I was like worried to death and scared to death. And I just know that like my son was just, you know, pounded with like cortisol and like fear hormones and adrenaline for like a week straight. You know, like, oh my gosh, what was I gonna do? You know, but like a certain amount of that is good.
Yeah, a certain amount is good. But like you said, they even say, especially people who have trouble with miscarriages, that if you stress yourself out over the fear of miscarrying, it can actually contribute to a higher chance of
Oh, yeah.
miscarriage, right? Yeah.
Oh yeah, 100%. Hormones are a crazy and incredible thing, especially in a pregnant woman. And it's like, and I don't know that we'll ever really completely understand the connection, or even the like physiological connection, even more than like mental and spiritual, but the actual physical
Yeah.
connection between a mother and a child. Like, it's something really incredible. And like, again, I say, without a doubt, better than the baby being murdered, you know, without a doubt. Nobody's arguing that.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
like, but what if we do that? And then it's like, we have this whole generation of babies born out of an incubator. Like, what is that
Yeah.
going to do? Are we going to have more sociopaths, psychopaths? Are we
Right.
gonna see more serial
That's what I was.
killers? You know,
My mind immediately went sci-fi movie, just like
right,
emotionless, like people.
right, exactly. And in that case, it's like, what if two of them turn out to be like the most prolific, you know, serial like in a long time,
Yeah.
and then they get rid of. I'm sorry, I'm trying to be YouTube friendly.
No,
and then they
that's
get rid of
totally got what you're saying.
so many people. You know, it's like they get rid of 100 people apiece. Like, oh goodness, was it really worth the artificial work? You know, like it's sticky. It's a sticky subject. Yeah.
Yeah. And then when these parents give up these children because it would be the alternative to abortion, now they don't really have any advocate, and some 3-letter organization wants to come in and, you know, maybe do some experiments and see what they can get away with.
Yep.
Yes. And that's my next point. Do they become wards of the state? Because usually, like, if you carry a baby to term and give the baby up for adoption, you go through an adoption agency. A lot of people have the misconception that you go through like DCS, which is foster care for normally much older children. That's like the quote unquote system people get caught in, where they're like abused and stuff without the M and does bad things. It's not the same as the adoption system. That's completely separate. And they usually go through that, where people are like, you know, screened, and you have to pay lots of money, and it's expensive. It's a long process, like, because they're trying to vet people and get the right people, right? And it's like they're already waiting, and they go to the hospital and they pick the baby up and they're loved, you know? And it's like,
correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe in America, there's not one newborn that doesn't get adopted. The adoption problems are with older
1,000%.
children. Yeah.
So it's crazy. I was just redoing my research on this because I actually have an abortion debate coming up. And so I was redoing my research on this because that's a big, it's a big talking point for the pro-aborts, right? They're like, oh, but they're going to be stuck in the system, because a lot of people don't understand that difference. I'll just differentiate it, and they're like, they're going to be stuck. I'm like, but that's not true, see, because anytime in America, there's like 2 million people on the waiting list for adoption. There's even specific lists for babies with like diseases, or, you know, like with Down syndrome, for example. If they're testing positive in the womb, there's a whole list of parents waiting to adopt a Down syndrome baby. Like, it's crazy, right? And we have 1 million abortions a year. So there's more than 1 million people every year that want to love a baby that can't. So no, there's not a single unwanted child in America. It's just not happening. This whole like thing, talking point of like, oh, you know, there's all these unwanted children, they're gonna have a terrible life. No, because the people that end up on those adoption lists are like the people with no background, the people with lots of money. Like, they're gonna be fine.
The people who otherwise wanted children but couldn't, usually for some reason, or are older and have had their children and just want to help.
Yeah. It's funny. You can go to Planned Parenthood, and for no money down, you can end the life of your baby. But if you want to adopt a baby, you need $60,000, lawyers, and it's crazy.
And Lord forbid you ask them at a Planned Parenthood, especially now that they've been like defunded by the federal government. That was always another talking point. They don't get money from the federal government. Oh, you mean that $80 million that they got cut off from for a year? Oh yeah, we were just imagining that. But now that they're not doing like adoption referrals anymore, and like the people who are the pro-aborts are like, you can't go to a pregnancy resource center because they'll lie to you and trick you somehow into not murking your own child. And they'll like point you toward adoption. They won't give you a abortion referral, right? Like, no, of course that's not what they do. And now Planned Parenthood won't even give you an adoption referral. It's just crazy.
Yeah, and they play all sorts of games. There's one where like where the heartbeat bills are, where abortions are banned at like around 6 weeks with the heartbeat bills. what they'll do is they won't find the heartbeat, right? They'll
Oh
play
yeah,
dumb.
yeah.
Yeah.
I can't find it anywhere. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
They
There's
do all
bad
sorts of
people that adopt. Lori Wolf in California, not surprised.
Lori, if you want to
I mean,
call in
yeah,
and give a
sure.
counter opinion, we'd be happy to have you on the show. The link is
and I'm
pinned
sure
at the top of the chat.
Leah, not Leia, would be happy to maybe engage in a conversation here while she's here. I don't want to talk for her.
Oh, I
but
always engage about abortion. Always, 100% of the time.
she said you must be a millennial because you don't know she.
She said that about me?
Yeah.
I don't know what I am. I'm almost 34. I don't know what that is.
Yeah, am I the youngest millennial or the oldest?
I thought you were the oldest Gen Z.
Yes, I'm the youngest millennial or oldest Gen Z. You're right. So I think
But
you
anyway,
are a millennial.
you know what's really funny? You know what's really funny about people that tell me, I don't know, she. It's really hilarious because I know how the wokies like to manipulate and twist information, and how also, like, diametrically they say to trust and believe the science. The places that I go to research the absolute undeniable facts I'm giving you right now is the Guttmacher Institute, which for some of you uneducated folks that like to call names in the chat, that's the research arm of Planned Parenthood. So I'm using your people's statistics, just so you're aware.
Yeah.
And they don't know this. They don't know their own statistics. The only thing they know is talking points. They get the talking points in a neat little postcard and regurgitate them.
They hear it. They hear it on the news. They hear their favorite social media influencer spout it out, and they're like, "Oh yeah, it must be true."
They said
Or
this
they
on
ask
Call Me
Google.
Daddy.
Yes. I asked Google, and the AI swap told me so. So it must be true.
Yep. Gemini, ChatGPT.
You know, and it's not. I'm not a hater of AI. It can do some useful things. Don't get me wrong, but you got to go more than surface level because people. I mean, it's not a conspiracy theory anymore. These people running these sites and these technologies, most of them anyway, are very woke. They have an agenda. Like, tell it that you want it to give you a pro-life argument, and you're gonna struggle. You know,
if you are below average IQ, if you're just kind of dumb, only thing AI can do is amplify your dumbness. It can't make you smarter. You have to be intelligent in the way that you use it, because if not, you'll just
and check your sources.
Yes.
Yeah.
And the AI is getting better at providing its sources and quotes from the sources, but especially early on, it would just quote a bunch of nonsense and you really have to
make up its own quotes.
Yeah.
Oh Lord, yeah, literally. But
And
yeah,
so these
I do
AIs
that intentionally.
Yeah, these AI companies have safety teams, and what these safety teams are, at least what they're marketed as, is, you know, AI is going to be conscious one day and rule over everybody, so we have to make sure it doesn't get out of the box. But part of that is they'll limit what you can ask the AI, right? You can't ask it to make a bioweapon. Okay, agree there. We shouldn't have access to that. But that also comes with, like you said, asking for pro-life arguments, or asking if certain things are racist and changing the races and getting completely different answers based on the race you provide.
Yep.
1,000%.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you definitely, some of the models you can like train them, but you definitely have to work really hard and be conscious of like the language you're using, or it'll just, I mean, I can't count the number of times AI has said to me, "Oh, I can't answer that type of a question," or like, "I can't complete that type of a task." I'm like, "What?"
Yeah,
it's ridiculous.
Sometimes you can get around it by like, well, you know, I'm doing this so I know what not to say. So can you tell me what not to say?
Yeah. Beat them at their own game.
It's good stuff.
Awesome.
Good stuff.
Well, thank you so
Leah,
much. Yeah.
I was just about to say the same thing. Thanks for calling in, being one of our callers tonight. Feel free to join us again.
Yes, indeed. And I will always come up for a Smith motion discussion, because I am always down for that. Thank you for having me.
I don't know if you have me on Twitter or Discord, but I'd love to check out your debate if you want to send me a link.
Yeah, sure. I don't know if they are on Discord. Are you just are you your name here, there?
Yeah.
Like, are you Alex, or are you?
Yeah, at Alexander Medeiros on Discord, and Twitter, it just doesn't catch the R, O, and the S at the end.
Okay. I'll look you up and add you. I'm kind of excited about it. It should be good. Nobody's
I'd
been
love
brave
to,
enough to enter the ring
watch
with
it.
me. So.
Yeah, looking
All right.
forward to
Thank
it. Good
you
luck.
so much for having me. Thank
Yeah,
you.
of
Have a
course.
good
Have a
night.
great night.
You
Bye.
do. All right. Good.
That was
Love
good.
it. Love it. Yeah. I love
Even though I've
love
been
getting
calling her, pronouncing her name wrong this
name
entire
wrong
time.
the whole
Because we
time.
went through it when I first saw her in chat. And I thought I got it right, but look at that.
It's that Gen Z
Lori,
brain, man.
Lori
that,
wanted
you know what?
no
That was
smoke.
before you were taking creatine, bro.
Yeah, true. Lori disappeared quickly.
Quickly invite her up to defend your position, and you vanished, Lori. I'm so sad, so sad. Hey, there's only 3 of you watching right now. Hit that thumbs up button, though. I don't care. All 3 of you. I got listen. My wife and kid are out of town.
My wife.
I got a few more minutes that I can kill. I have one more story that I wanted to cover because it's like so ridiculous. It's about the mayor of Seattle, if you can guess where this might be going. Picture of a bed.
Wait.
Stupid ads.
Oh,
Seattle's
like, what is
Seattle's LGBT commission demands free housing for trans refugees. Did you know they were refugees, Alex? Calls for socialist mayor to declare state of emergency over the trans relocation crisis. Bro, I didn't know there was a crisis going on, but apparently a coalition of trans activist groups demand resources to aid the tens of thousands, I somehow doubt that number, of trans refugees escaping Trump's trans genocide. Did you know he was genociding trans people? I had no idea. This is crazy. The city of Seattle's LGBT asked Mayor Katie Wilson to declare a state of emergency in a response to what they call the trans relocation crisis. The advisory group is seeking to increase in taxpayer-funded resources, of course. Of course, it's taxpayer-funded resources for its mutual aid groups, which were established to financially assist trans-identifying people relocating to Seattle from Republican-run states following the passing of legislation prohibiting taxpayer-funded sex change services. So if I, the taxpayer, don't pay for your sex change, that is their definition of genocide. But they make up words all the time and change the definition of words all the time. Yeah. So it does not surprise me at all that they have changed the definition of that word.
The mayor respond?
A coalition of trans activist groups, including the Antifa-affiliated Moto Hooligans, stated they need more financial resources to assist in the tens of thousands, their quote, I want to see the actual number, who have allegedly, there we go, moved to Seattle to escape what they call the Trump genocide. As a result, the coalition has demanded free housing. So come to Seattle, get yourself a free house. The group announced Saturday, that's coming up this Saturday, May 23rd, a rally march in Seattle to demand for the resources. That'll do it. Oh boy, he's just crazy. Genocidal and vile legislation across the U.S. have left transgender people with one option: to flee. I can't, dude. Tens of thousands of our siblings are flocking to Seattle, where they find struggling community orgs fighting uphill to support them. Why don't you get a job? Why do you need a free house? Can't you just move to Seattle and get a job? Like, what do you need a free house?
I mean, it is a good job market, right?
Right. Yeah. Come on now. Katie Wilson.
That's why it's so expensive to live there.
Exactly. Yeah. That's why a house is $900,000 and your grocery bill per month is like $1,200 easy just for one person. But Katie Wilson is a socialist, so it will not surprise me if they try to enact this. During Seattle's Trans Day of Visibility, the city declared the crisis we're fighting is a genocide. I hate this. It's unbelievable that they use that word so often. They're going to use it so often that you actually think that that's what it means. In response to the demands, Mayor Wilson sent a letter to the commission on Tuesday announcing her intention to create a civil rights team that would evaluate immediate needs and fortify critical services for the LGBT community. Despite the city's challenging budget constraints, in which Seattle is facing a $175 million budget deficit, Wilson asserted that she would prioritize providing additional resources. That's unbelievable. So you're $175 million in debt as a city, and
yearly deficit, right? Or is that
Yeah.
total?
total.
Okay. Still,
That's insane, bro. That's insane. But I do want to end on a white pill. What are your thoughts on that? First of all, like I can't stand when you use the word genocide, but
yeah, it's just another opportunity for a major fraud. And once they get it enacted, the people who get it enacted will scream from the rooftops about how generous and awesome they are and how great and progressive Seattle is. And all the Seattle politicians will laugh all the way to the bank. And these people they want so desperately to get help actually really won't even get the help. So
that's true. That's true. The most of the money, in fact, I almost pulled this story for tonight's show. There was where was it for us? I think it was somewhere in California, like $45 million was spent to provide like children with something, and only like 300 kids ended up getting the thing. It's like it was
who's that guy? Is it the guy who ended up on Joe Rogan recently doing the shorts?
I don't know.
He shows a short. He's like, things that you could have gotten instead of nothing from California. And he's like, you could have bought every homeless person a house.
That's good. That's good. I wish I could remember what the heck it was, because I almost put it on tonight's agenda, but now I can't remember what the heck it was for some reason. But I do want to end on a white pill, because we do deserve some good news. We had a good time earlier laughing at the liberals, mostly white men liberals today we were laughing at. But now we have a young patriot who was told by her school teacher that she could not share a poem, a pure fire pro-life poem. So we're going to watch it and see what she had to say.
A life is a life, no matter how small. 73 million people have been killed in 1 year and will be killed again this year, if not more. And they are completely innocent humans. They never get to see the light of day before they are cast away. They did nothing wrong except exist and were dismissed. People say women in healthcare, but never think how unfair. They kill a baby for simply being there. The Word of God says, "You knit me together in my mother's womb. How come we never listen to this and try to send them to a tomb? I am fearfully, wonderfully made. Your works are wonderful. His works are wonderful. A person is a person, no matter how small. A life is a life, no matter how small." We often forget this important detail. This detail could save a life. 60% of babies who weren't intended have died because of this. Why do people kill these innocent babies with a pill? Why do people say babies in the womb are a mistake, a thing that needs to be gotten rid of? Why? When you ask someone, is murder bad? They say yes, of course. But how come when you say murdering innocent babies is bad, they shame you? They say women's rights in healthcare, but what about the baby's rights? That's what's unfair. From the moment they are created, they are a human person. They are created in God's image. People say women's rights in healthcare, they say it's just a clump of cells, but no one dwells on the fact that a baby still has a heartbeat at 6 weeks. Boom, 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 boom. Nothing compares to the love a mother has for her baby. So just maybe, we let them have a chance to live and that love will grow. Destruction, dismay, dread. When will people comprehend that this needs to come to an end? A life is a life, no matter how small.
Amen.
Amen. I salute you. What is her name? Do we have her name? 13-year-old student. Jeffco Public Schools, by the way. So this is the school that won't allow her to read that poem. If you want to drop in their comments, send them some emails, please do, and let them know what pieces of crap they absolutely are.
So they was this like a project?
Yeah, it was it was a poem that she wanted to read in class. Colorado teacher refused to allow 7th grade to present her pro-life slam poetry submission because it's offensive and might make kids unsafe. Some examples of accepted topics in the class are
Here we go.
slamming the Second Amendment, mocking Jesus, and LGBTQ rights. Staff admitted that the poem met all the requirements, however, couldn't be read out loud because it's politically charged. The teacher also initially tried kicking the 13-year-old girl out of class during the poem presentations, but allowed her to stay after pushback. We spoke with the mother and daughter, shared their story, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, so please head over and let the Jeffco public school system, what pieces of crap that they are, be nice, don't be violent about it, but let them know that we don't appreciate them sharing poems mocking Jesus, but we can't read anything pro-life.
As our resident Latino, Jeremiah Campana.
Yes.
Ruben has a request.
Okay.
Can you please sing La Gloria de Dios, girl, Spanish Christian music?
Me. No. I can't.
Sounds like a great song, Ruben, but sorry.
Right. Yeah. Sounds great. If you want to call in and sing it, we might let you. Mayor Ohio Patriot with some fact checking here. The mayor of Seattle, her experience: barista, lab technician, boatyard worker, boat repair, construction labor, apartment manager, legal assistant, baker.
I love is it a barista lab technician or were those separate?
Right. That's what she put on her LinkedIn profile. I'm a barista lab technician. That's so you work at Starbucks? Like, what does that mean?
I make specialty drinks.
All right, folks, thank you so much for joining us tonight. We had some call-ins. One of them not so successful. The other one very successful. That guy just didn't know what he wanted to talk about, which was fine. Just know what you're talking about when you call in. Yeah, we're here every Thursday, folks. Subscribe to our channels. Hit that thumbs up button. I have a video I just dropped today. I forgot that I dropped the video today. Brett Weinstein was on Tim Pool, and they debated parental rights versus government intervention. I gave the biblical referee verdict on that. Alex, what do you got coming up?
I have a debate on AI, part of the word war. I always want to say word war debate show and contest that's going on. It'll be pre-recorded and posted probably directly to the Word War Debate YouTube channel. I'll see if I can also post it to mine. That'll be fun. It's on Is ChatGPT Killing Creativity? I'm on the negative. My opponent's on the affirmative. Whoever wins this goes to the next round. If you win 1, 2, 3, 4, you get flown out to New Jersey.
Jeez.
For the 5th final debate. Get paid. Have a good time. Whoever wins that one moves to the championship series or whatever.
Yeah.
Then there's 4 people who end up in the championship series who battle it out for a permanent position to come out and debate every quarter at Word War Debate. So pretty exciting stuff.
Quite the gauntlet. But
yes, sir. And scared of werewolves. Is there anything wrong with being gay? How come you guys say that there's nothing wrong with it, but then you use it as an insult? Seems a little hypocritical.
Because they know. Because they know.
Yeah, they know.
They know. Oh, well, folks, God bless each and every single one of you, even the haters. We'll see you next Thursday at 9:45 p.m. Peace.
Peace.